baby.
We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause we been.
Y'all better get comfortable with saying black.
We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause
Black versus the Board of Education.
Cause we can't get rid of us now. We in here, yeah, we in here. Cause we can't get rid of us now. And you know that we don't ever go with cause we been here.
That's why we are indeed a whole mood.
That's it.
Oh, I'm gonna need the camera on me. Hey, there she is. Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Black versus the Board of Education. As you can see, I am back. I'm not 100%, but I'm 100% in on this conversation. Today, we are talking about the lie was working until the video spoke. Happy Black History Month to everybody except, what's her name? Eunice Emily Aguilar, who decided to take her shoe off and throw it at a baby. But before we get to her, I have a Black History Month spotlight. As we witness movements to erase grave mistakes and gruesome misdeeds from our history books, it is more important than ever to remind one another that Black Americans have been at the forefront of addressing systemic inequalities and advocating for the rights of marginalized communities. Black voices have been instrumental in bringing attention to issues such as poverty, inadequate healthcare, housing instability, miscarriages of justice, and educational disparities that disproportionately affect disadvantaged families. One notable figure in this landscape is Frederica Douglass Sprague Perry, whose pioneering work has left an indelible mark on child welfare and social services. Perry, the granddaughter of the renowned abolitionist Frederick Douglass, dedicated her life to advocating for the welfare of Black American children and families in the early 20th century. As one of the first Black American women to earn a degree in social work, Perry broke barriers and paved the way for future generations of professionals. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Miss Frederica Douglass Sprague Perry, who was instrumental in advocating for the rights of children. And today, we're going to take up her mantle because I am furious. And before we get started with the discussion, please bring my co-hosts on stage. I want you to know who's in the building because I'm like a ticking time bomb. I used to say I'm fragile, not like a flower. I'm fragile like a bomb, right? And I'm ready to detonate all over that. Hey, Miss Tawana, I'm glad to be back. But let's go ahead. Let's start with the ladies on the screen. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Melissa, you did a phenomenal job last week. I still got to give you props for that. But go ahead and introduce yourself, followed by Miss Patrice, and then we'll come in studio and say what's up to the fellas.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa. I'm a sophomore at UC Berkeley, and I'm so excited to see you, Miss Lori, and I'm glad you're feeling at least a little bit better.
Look, if this don't get me out my seat, then I don't know what will, baby girl. Hey, Miss Patrice.
Hey, people. Patrice Hill, director of SES, but also a poet, a community advocate, an educator, and most importantly, a Black parent.
Come on, parents. I love parents. Let me just say that. And real quickly, we'll come in studio with my fellas. Let's start with the Red Beanie. Hey, sir. Hey.
Red Beanie. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Mr. Chastain here, present, ready to get it.
All right. And last but not least, rounding us out today.
Hey, how you doing? Mr. Fox, advocate, mentor. Black today, tomorrow, last week, next week, after my death.
And you know what? Before we even get into this discussion, because this is really on the tip of my tongue, I would be remiss if I did not bring up what I saw yesterday when it came to actively Black. Some of our folks from Sac State were behaving a little badly, and they charged up to $20,000 from actively Black using a code that was meant for something else. And they took advantage, and he got on social media talking about how not disrespected, but how disappointed he was that his own people took advantage of his brand and basically stole from him. And so, unfortunately, I know a couple of those people personally. And I'd have to say I am very, very disappointed in the way that was handled. I hope that when they get the merchandise that they ordered, that they return it post haste. And I think that they need to apologize. What say you, Mr. Fox?
I say that I actually know a couple of them too, and when I talked to them, it seemed like they was upset that they was outed on social media. But I just never knew a nice way to go about a thief.
Ooh.
No matter what level of what regard of how you participated in it, if you knew thievery was about it or trickery was about it, you participated in it. But I wanted to take it a step further because I heard what the brother was saying. He wasn't saying necessarily that they just stole from him. The brother clearly outlined his paycheck and how much he makes and how much he poured back into the community. He said, "You didn't just steal from me; you stole from the community. This brand right here, we use it to help feed the community." And I'm actually up on Actively Black. I like him. I'm a fan, especially because it says Actively Black. But the things that they do, the events that they put on, they are socially aware. They are current. And for him to say like he was hurting in his heart, he was like he didn't even want to say it. And then he even had more information that he said, but I ain't going to give you this information. But he just outed them by name, and I don't see anything wrong with him doing that. But yeah, they stole from the community by stealing from him with that. And then he was embarrassed by it by saying like, out of all the things that could be going on, me during Black History Month, I felt him with that.
Miss Patrice, are you familiar with what we talking about?
I'm not. Y'all gonna have to catch me up. You know, there was a lot.
Well, I shared the video. Today. It's on my Instagram. It's from the co-founder Lanny. He was talking about basically that they were doing some work with one of the agents for the athletes. They're looking for influencers for their line. So say they sent this person a code that the athletes could use to order some gear. Well, somebody shared that code with their friend group. And that friend group ordered $20,000 worth of merchandise from this small Black-owned business.
Wow.
And he found it after going through some, the stuff that comes out that prints the orders. He found that somebody had made an order, one order of $8,000. And he traced it all the way back to Sac State, and some of their faculty are involved. And I hope after him releasing names that they will go ahead and return that, because I think that President Luke Wood has done really, really good things for the Black community at Sac State. And I think that this is not something that as a current or as an alumni of Sac State that we want to be known for. Sac State doesn't want to be known for stealing from Actively Black during Black History Month.
Right.
Melissa, what's that face?
There's like a phrase that I've heard that, and I don't condone theft or stealing at all, but I've heard people say steal from big corporations, not from small businesses. And while I don't support stealing in any capacity, I understand like it's Black History Month and it's a Black-owned business and it's a small business. Like people don't understand the time and the effort and the love that goes into small businesses. And so it like doesn't just hurt on a financial level. It hurts like that's something that someone is really passionate about. And to know that it's your people that are taking from you is absolutely insane. And it's just really heartbreaking when you're trying to do something that better the Black community.
And I actually feel him on more levels than one, because there are certain things that people have done to my nonprofit as employees or people who want to be associated with us. The things that I've seen them do to this nonprofit, they would never do to, say, non-Black businesses. And so I agree with him that it hurts more because it's your own folks. You know what I mean? It's people that, you're doing something for, and they don't understand the labor of love. All they see is the attention that you get. And so sometimes, and I'm sure, Patrice, you can girl.
Listen.
She had to scratch her neck on that one.
Listen. Our people have to understand that they're not going to take us seriously until we take ourselves seriously.
Facts.
And how can we advance as a people if we can't even don't steal from each other, don't steal, don't kill, don't harm each other, y'all. We have to uplift each other. I feel so bad for the brother, because at the end of the day, I know how much it takes to run a business, to come up with a business, to maintain a business,
to market
to
grow, to scale the business,
right? Like and to trust people to help like uplift your brand, and then that happens, I cancel all them orders. And I want to apologize on behalf of Sacramento, on behalf of Sac State, and being a Black Hornet. That's not what we stand for.
Absolutely.
We don't do that. we lift each other up. We you know, I've done so much business with folks that have graduated from Sac State, collaborations and partnerships. Like, we about our business. We don't we
100%.
not trying to steal from each other. So sorry that happened. It's just crazy.
And a way that we can start to make it better. Somebody go purchase something from that brother.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
gonna buy
going to
something
purchase
today. I'm
For
gonna
sure.
buy something
because
today.
we can't, and he was able to cancel some orders, but there were some things that were already shipped out before he actually caught it. And so I'm hoping that those folks will get that merchandise and return it, and then turn around and buy something to make it right.
Right.
But we're going to do a hard pivot because I want y'all to take a look at something really quickly before we start this conversation. It is important that we frame it. If you are sensitive, please turn your sound down or something. But I think that for us to have a better context of what it is that we're going to talk about, I think that we have to show the video.
Graphic nature.
So-
Graphic nature.
Yeah. Just nasty.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to actually get you there. Are you gonna be in the ear? I'm so sorry. I actually did not mean Okay, stop. Because first of all, you should have never been up. Are you okay?
And I want to call your attention to her hands. Now she has her hands behind her neck. And then watch her left hand. Not the right one going on. Watch her left hand. So that is out of Inglewood, California, 5-year-old girl. Her name is Beautiful. And Beautiful was the one that you saw get that nasty shoe, the shoe that person has been walking around outside. She takes it off of her foot and tosses it, throws it across the classroom. And I want to just call your attention to a couple of things. There is a sleeping area. Beautiful is outside the sleeping area. The only one outside of the sleeping area. If you catch this surveillance video right before I did, there was a Black teacher that walks out of the room. And it looked to me like Beautiful was trying to figure out where she went. And then as you see towards the end, and I'll play it again, but I'm going to leave the sound off because I don't like to hear that baby crying, but I'm going to kind of fast forward it. Towards the end, you see her hand behind her neck. And then there was another person, a Black person that walked into the room, and she's trying to get that person's attention. And that person never looks at her as she gets smacked across the face. So, I mean, the original report, because there wasn't one, the baby went home and told her mother that Miss Emily hit her in the head or in the face or in the ear with a shoe. The director asked Miss Emily about it. Miss Emily first said, her coworker said that she fell off her cot. Notice the cot is on the ground. She fell off her cot. And then the second thing was, I threw the shoe. It was an accident. I didn't mean to hit her. Mr. Chastain, that's your first time seeing this video. What comes to mind?
That parent.
What parent?
That parent that we've been discussing for the last 2-3 weeks up in here. I've become that parent about my baby. But seeing the video, right, looks like she's pushing the baby down with her neck right here. I didn't see a slap because the camera went different, but you could see where she's actually pushing that
right
little girl
there at the end. She's
plopped her. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. There's no reason for that. No reason for that.
I've never seen that before. I've never seen a teacher take a shoe off and throw it at a kid.
No. Yeah, I'm that parent. I'm that parent. I need her job.
Mama P.
It's so hard to continue to watch this video, y'all, because I have seen it and I did watch it a couple of times just to make sure my eyes weren't deceiving me and it wasn't AI or you know what I mean? Like I kept trying to watch it and it's just so many layers to this video. One is the intentional harm and disrespect of a Black child. Two is just the whole foundational notion that Black children do not deserve protection. The employees laughing like,
yes,
if somebody did that in front of me, you gonna have to call the SWAT team to get me up off of them. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we can the immediate gaslighting of the child. Like
yeah.
I didn't mean to actually. What did you mean to do then? What did you mean to do? And then like, you know, my heart breaks hearing that baby cry because that is an echo of the way that Black children are treated in schools,
100%.
In daycare facilities, in places that do not center Blackness or do not like believe that Black children are human. So there's so many layers to this video. I'm utterly disrespected, disgusted. I feel like this is wrong on a million levels, and I pray that justice is served for this baby.
Mr. Fox.
One, I wanted to mirror something you said earlier. Melissa did a very good job last week on the show, man. And two, Tawana Sutton, I like what she said in the comments. She said, Tawana Sutton at 1640, I try to find this mom since this is my city so I can bring her into the conversation today, but I cannot get a hold of her. But when I was watching the tape, one of the things, can you pause it right there first?
I'm not on the right screen. Hold on.
Okay. One of the things that caught my attention,
Which part?
I'm not that much of a sports player. I ain't got no trophies or nothing, but you see how she launches the shoe? That's like see her face. Look, she trying. You can see it. And the smaller the thing is, you can see the face like she's launching it. Like you want that thing to get over there hard.
But let me call your attention. Look at this lady's already laughing.
Right. They already can see it coming. So then my second thing that I was looking for, because I wanted to give her like, maybe I have a dark sense of humor. So I was like, maybe like just like, where is it at? Right. But I never seen no oh my God. Like I didn't see her like jump herself for her actions. I didn't see her immediately like she didn't have a like, oh, I messed up. I actually thought to myself right there, look, in the video, what I heard come out her mouth, and I could be corrected. I thought I heard her say, sit down. And then she went over there and was like, oh my God. And then she went like, but still, all in all, you ain't never got no right to ever take your shoe off, man, and throw it at nobody else's baby. Not let alone your own. But you threw that shoe hard as somebody else, baby, and you took it directly off your foot, and that was your immediate reaction. That was your call and response. That's how you get down.
Melissa.
I have a lot of things to say. I work with kids. I am a nanny outside of school. I'm a nanny. And I work with families that have young kids, and I have been frustrated with children before. I understand what it's like when a kid is not following directions, they're not doing what you're asking, that they're crying when you're trying to get them to do something, trying to get them to pay attention, trying to get them to eat, and they're throwing food. I completely understand being frustrated with children. And never have I once thought I should put my hands on someone else's child or harm them in some way. And not because I'm afraid of getting in trouble, but because I think a lot of times people forget that kids are humans.
Right. And
you wouldn't want an adult to throw their shoe at you. And it's not like she's wearing flat, like it wouldn't be okay if she's wearing flats or some little shoe. She's wearing a sneaker, a huge shoe that's going to harm this child. Like I have never once been so frustrated with a kid that I wanted to hurt them. And she doesn't, like how Fox was saying, she doesn't seem like she has any bit of remorse or regret on her face that she thought for a split second she made a mistake. And the kid, you work at a daycare, like they're having nap time and she's trying to get up to, like you said, go look at the other teacher that she might have had a connection to, see where she's going, because they're curious kids. You work at a daycare. This is not the first time a child at nap time has gotten up to use the bathroom, to ask for a snack, to do something other than what you're asking them to do at the moment. And in the background, it looked like at the very beginning, one of the people was like had another child in their arms. So she wasn't the only person. Like someone walks from the beginning, this person who's in the red right here, looks like they were holding either something. It could have been a child, maybe not, but it looked like they were carrying a girl. Yeah, a small. So it's like she's not the only one who's not laying down like the other 4 or 5 kids. So like, what is your problem with this specific child? This clearly cannot be this teacher's first time trying to harm a child. And the way that they're laughing in the background, like this is clearly not everybody's first time in this scenario. This is just the first time it was caught on camera, and it's an issue.
What the hell she thinks so funny too? Like,
I'm still trying to figure out what's so funny. I have a couple of thoughts too. I have always worked with children as well. There has never been one time where I thought to take my shoe off and throw it at a kid across the room. I've never thought about that. I've been pissed off with adults. I've never thought to take my shoe off and throw it at them. Why? Why didn't I think that? Because I would expect immediate repercussions, right?
Right.
She knew this baby was unprotected. She knew that these 2 jackals back here, she knew that they would co-sign her foolery. And they did, because they submitted reports saying that the baby fell off the cot and not that this broad threw her damn shoe at the baby's head.
So all of them should be gone, right?
All of them were fired after the fact, but let me get to that. So they said that she fell. The baby told her mama, no, she hit me in the head with the shoe, or in the face, or in the ear, or something, right?
Wiping her
and
ear.
So the mother, being her baby's best advocate, called to the school and said, no. She said that Miss Emily, now she knows the name, right? Miss Emily hit her with the shoe. And she says, okay, so mama brings the baby back to the school. The administrator, or the person who's over the daycare, director, I guess they are called, she wanted to interview the baby alone. So she takes the baby alone in the room with her, and the baby tells her the exact same thing that the baby told the mama. Miss Emily hit me with the shoe. Only then did the director go through the camera footage. And that's this footage that we see right here. So up to that point, Miss Emily had been, I don't know if Miss Emily had been fired, but the other 2 were still working, right? They were still working until the video came out. So this happened sometime in January. The video came out first week of February. And then they were terminated. But they would have gotten away with it. And it would have been that baby's word against theirs,
right,
if this video didn't exist.
Right.
So if this video didn't exist, then what?
Can I say something too, though?
Sure.
Because, we are a Black Youth Leadership Project, and this is Black History Month, and we do like to highlight positive things as well. Shout out to that director who looked at that video and didn't turn a blind eye. It could have continued to be a ripple effect, and everything is, and that's what always things are, until somebody at least says stop. It takes 1 for every 10. But shout out for that director who did look at the tape and then put some action behind what she saw.
But was it enough? Because people are still upset, right?
No.
Because they're saying, so first of all, some of the excuses that I've read online, they're saying that hitting kids with the shoes is cultural for Latin communities. Eunice Emily Aguilar?
No, is that baby Latin?
No.
I know.
Okay, so what?
No, they're saying she's doing what's cultural to her, so therefore they're trying to give her an excuse. Under no circumstances, I don't give a damn what community you're from. We don't expect our children to be hit by anybody, and we definitely don't want them hit with shoes.
No.
And you said, "What is this enough?" And I have my response to that is this: that teacher right there. I'm pretty sure that there's other teachers in the industry, as we've all seen, they get fired from these schools. In the court system, when a police officer gets fired because he planted a gun on somebody, or he plants dope, or we finally find out he's a liar, they start reviewing all his other cases. So when these teachers get caught doing that, do they start reviewing the other cases that they had commentary on? I would love
for them
other
to
people's
review all the cases, because I think that this is not the first time, like you all have said. I think that they will find more bad behavior if they decided to look at it.
And can I just add that, Miss
You can
Lorraine,
add whatever you like.
that
sister.
you said that one of the comments online was that it's part of the brown community that they use shoes to discipline. You said something of the sort of like
Yeah,
shoes
the
being
comment said that this was cultural, that she was probably raised like this, and this is what they do in their community.
Okay, so I've grown up with brown folks. I'm from Fresno,
Never seen it.
California. There is grandmothers and tias that use chanclas, like little sandals, to maybe tap
Yeah.
somebody. But I ain't never in ever in life seen somebody launch a shoe at a child, even if folks are, even if kids are getting disciplined. Like we talking about a little sandal, right? Like a little chancla. That is harm. That is assault.
Yeah.
That is intention to put somebody into fear. And then the employees laughing is this has happened many times before.
Right.
There was no protection of this
None.
child. The laughing was like, yeah, get her again. It was no. Where is the training that you one of the y'all both we all work with children. We have to go through trainings and the child abuse index to be cleared to go into schools and to work with young people, and that is abuse. You have abused a child, and the laughing tells us that was funny, that black child's pain, there was joy in witnessing that, and that this child has been put in this position multiple times where they were not protected, and abusing children is okay. And that's not all right. And that's why we're talking about black children need support in these schools, in these spaces, because this is what happens to them, and they do not get protected. Their pain gets laughed at, and we're tired of it, and we're not going to stand for it. And this is not a reflection of the entire community, but folks that think that they can harm children have to be called out, and you should not be allowed to work with children.
Facts. Well, I think what adds a more difficult layer for me in this situation is the 5-year-old Beautiful is autistic.
Oh.
So was the assumption that this baby couldn't talk and wouldn't be able to tell? Why was this autistic baby isolated from everybody else? Why were they so comfortable throwing a shoe at this autistic baby?
Right.
Those type of things really tick me off. And then the other part that added another layer onto this, although Fox gave kudos to the director for making immediate corrections, this is a black-owned business that these people were working at.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I mean, should that matter? Does that matter to us? Do we expect more? Talk to me about it.
I expect more. To me, Fox's personal opinion, Fox, to have business and we not to have business. We doing it right now here every day. We run a black business, but we even though we help our people, we help a lot of people. However, we do tell each other, even in our own trainings with each other, hey, make sure you know what I'm saying. And if we catch the OGs, don't have the senior citizens sitting in the back, and hey, make sure somebody get the door for the ladies, get the boxes. It's a level of morale that we put up on our people to make sure that they serving our people correctly, as well as making sure that we are not embarrassing our people in front of others. So to see, like, when you say, do I expect more? This is a black-owned school. You got them 3
non-black.
And I don't even want to say it like that. I want to say 3 non-compatible. You got 3 in a row, all in one room. You didn't see that. You couldn't feel it. You didn't smell. Our culture lets us smell it. You be something ain't right with them, man. They always kiki and you didn't smell it. You didn't know nothing, and maybe they didn't. But I do expect that amongst our people. We be feeling like we know certain things are it's a. I don't want to say it's the black code, but it is, man. I feel you. Hey, what's up, sis? What's up, Queen? We know certain things.
Yeah.
And like Tawana said in the chat, they're all mandated reporters. If we see abuse, we are mandated to report it. Where is that at? Where's the reports?
Ain't none.
Listen.
Ain't none. Just like you don't find none. A lot of times when adults behave badly on school campuses, they rally around the adults. There's rarely rally around the children. And I have a problem, y'all. I have a problem because a lot of times we expect this type of behavior to come from a facility that don't have our people at it. This is a Black-owned facility, and you have your employees comfortable enough to take off their damn shoe and hit the baby in the head with it, knowing there's a camera in there, or maybe they didn't know there was a camera in there.
But you just said something, right? That they were comfortable enough. We understand that this kind of behavior has transpired before, whether it was on camera or not.
Right.
Too accurate, and the players in the background actually show that there's been some of that stuff going on before. There's been some of that. I'm glad that it's out now, and that yes, there is some light shed on what's going on at that school. And like you said, with the director stepping in and saying, okay, let me talk to the baby. But why did it have to go to that as opposed to not just taking it from the parents vocal in what was going on?
Well, I think that there's always this thing where people call themselves doing an investigation and they want to interview the children themselves. Especially when I was working over at Weave in their child daycare portion, I would have to speak to those children without their parents present to see if I would get the same type of story. So I don't see that as being outside the ordinary. But what I do see the problem in is the fact that you don't review your videos every day when you have people working with children.
Right.
That's what I wanted to say and bring up, because if they made a report that the child fell, that's an incident that happened that a child might have been harmed. And so why would you not review the footage upon having that information? Why did it take a child having to push back against the adults that they should feel safe with to say, no, that's not what happened. She's lying. And she actually intentionally harmed me. Why does it have to take a child having to speak up? Of course, children should speak up in situations where they have an advocate behind them, where they feel safe to do so. But if you knew that an incident happened at your location, in the case that a parent did need to come talk to you, you should already know what happened because you're reviewing the footage.
Come on, Melissa. I mean, common sense ain't so common though, right?
Clearly not. Clearly not.
I think common sense though, man, because I think of, like I said, what would make you I ain't never threw no shoe at my nephew or my what would make you take it? And to do it, she stumbled. She had to yank that thing up off her foot. She was like, you know what I mean? So the I'm gonna tell you, when I threw a shoe at my neighbor's dog and he jumped over the gate. Yeah.
Threw a shoe at a dog.
Yeah, I was messing with it.
Fox focus.
No, I'm just saying like that. That was when I picked the shoe up and I threw a shoe at it. And all the animal lovers. I was a kid, but at the same, I threw a shoe at a dog before when I was a kid. I ain't never thought to throw a shoe at my mama, my nephew, like when you make me mad. I just don't. It's not just the fact that she did it. I just keep getting caught up on the fact that was her. Like I said, cause and reaction.
And can I just say, Fox,
did that. Yep.
You did that when you was a kid. There are people actively getting counseled right now for abusing dogs, for throwing for touching a dog. Where is the outrage? Folks are outraged on social media right now about this creator that abused her dog over
in the background, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Where is the outrage about this? And that's why we are doing the work that we do, because we see that Black children's pain does not get treated on the level that it should. Folks are outraged about a dog, and I'm a dog mom. I'm outraged about the video too. What the content creator did was inhumane and caused harm to the dog. But there should be more outrage about this black child, and that's where it gets scary.
Not just that, for what she said afterward too. Not just, she told her while she was on that ground. She said, "You shouldn't have been over there." Like she made it her fault. Like she sit down. You shouldn't have been over there.
He blamed her for the pain that she caused to her.
Well, not only that, sis, she was the only one that went over there. So the one that harmed me is the only one that's coming over to me.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't even want nobody who harmed me around me.
Right.
Supposed to even let her go over there though. Like,
right.
Like they didn't even say that. No, you're done. No, get away from her. Get away.
Right.
They didn't go towards her.
No. Like she said, it was okay. It was entertainment.
It's such an atrocity in the way that they try to narrate black children as aggressive and harmful and all these things. That child did not flinch back. That child just cried. You know what I mean? How many times have you've been told if somebody hit you, hit them back. That child was in her pain, and then to know that she is autistic is an additional level of, for me, trauma and despair, because this is how black children with intellectual disabilities and they get treated worse. They get treated worse, and it's not okay. And we are not going to sit back and allow black children to get abused and not call it out. Those other employees that didn't flinch when that child was abused is very, very cognitive of the way that black children are treated in school and facility spaces.
And because it's always, the mistreatment is always justified.
Justified, yeah.
You called it out though when like she said the cognitive part about the baby. Even you called that out earlier when you said when she seen that black lady come in the room. It's like her voice went. The little baby's crying went up like 2 octaves. She was like she was
trying to get somebody to come to her rescue, and they failed her. I can remember something very similar to this happened here in Sacramento during COVID. The boy was dragged down the hallway by his arm, and his arm was dislocated. And we worked with the parents of that little boy. Most recently, we were on a campus, and I heard a little baby, and she wasn't little, probably like third or fourth grade. She was screaming to the top of her lungs, and I'm watching as this white woman is like hightailing it to the office, and I'm looking, trying to figure out where this screaming is coming from. And I see this little girl, and she is walking with, I want to say, one of the campus security people. And so I'm like, okay, nobody's going to address why she's screaming bloody murder to the top of her lungs, right? And so I went over there, and I was talking to her, and I said, baby, I really want to help you, but I need you to stop screaming at me so that I can hear you. What happened? And it was just like this whole thing. She was in this reading program, and this aide, it wasn't even a teacher. An aide was supposed to be helping them with their reading, and the aide kept ignoring her for this other little girl that was in there. And I'm like, well, why did that make you angry? She said, I want her to treat me like she treats the other girl. I want her to treat me like I'm her daughter too, right? Because black children are very relational. Right. And so I'm like, okay, well, do you mind? Can I take you over here to this room with me? Let me help you calm down, and then we can kind of address what's going on with the school. And she's like, yeah. So when I'm walking her to the room that we had, this lady comes out of the office with the VP and the security guard. And I mean, they are like full steam ahead rushing this little girl. So I put her behind me, and I stepped in front of her. And they were like, well, she did this. I said, what we're not going to do is we're not going to talk about her in front of her. Right. Let me get one of my staff to take her to the room, and then you and I can talk. But we're not doing it in front of her. Right. And it's, to me, that's the type of system that we're allowing our children to be in, right? Yeah. Where they're unprotected, right? And everybody can blame them for their reaction to some way. And it really pisses me off when you talk to some of these people that are on school campuses and you tell them how black children are relational. The white lady told me, well, I have black children. That does not mean that you know what it's like to be a black child. You know what I mean? I mean, and the kicker is, even though I was able to de-escalate the situation, that lady filed a complaint against me because she said that I didn't support her. I ain't there for her. I'm there for the babies.
Right.
Exactly.
But if you don't support their shenanigans, you become the problem. And I don't mind being the problem. I'm with the problems. But at the end of the day, we have too many people that are invested in mistreating our children.
Yes.
And because we don't want to be deemed racist or discriminatory, we hire people who may not have the best interests of our children at heart. And we have to call that out too. And I'm not saying that all people are like these three dingbats in this room. What I am saying is that I want the same energy they have for their children. I want the same energy for Black children.
Right.
You're incapable of doing that. You need to get the hell out of the way and let somebody in there who's going to love on our children. Period. Full stop.
Yes.
And so what does accountability in this situation look like to you guys? What's accountability? So all three of these dodo birds have been fired, right? Is that enough? Is being fired enough?
No. Not, because that was literally an assault on a child. That's some charges right there. Somebody needs to be held accountable and go and face that. If it was a sister that threw that same shoe,
would be in jail.
Absolutely. They'd have found her in her cell by now.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not gonna be the same. But that wasn't enough.
Patrice,
and they need to get those parents compensation.
Arrest everybody. Arrest everybody.
Everybody.
And that's an assault. That a battery, all the things that can be done, do it. I was beautiful at 5 years old in an all-white school in Fresno, California. I don't know why my parents had me in Emmanuel Lutheran School. I do not know, but I was there, and these white boys pushed me off the monkey bars. I broke my arm. I went to the principal. I told her they pushed me off the monkey bars, and my arm is hurting. That principal told me to shut up. When my dad picked me up from school, I had urinated on myself. He took me straight to Valley Children's Hospital because he could tell my arm was broken. We have to. What happened to that principal? What happened to them teachers? I don't know. But I know that when folks get caught in these kind of situations, they go to another school. They go to another place where they are put right back in the presence of children where they can harm another child. That nurse that got caught breaking Black babies' bones in the NICU, who got
on the wrist.
A slap on the wrist. We know she's going to be back in community with children where she can harm children again. That's the same that's going to happen in this situation. Yeah, they got fired from that facility. Are they going to get hired somewhere else? Most likely, yes. Are they going to be put in a situation where they can harm another child? Most likely, yes. Is this going to stop them from harming Black children? No, it's not.
They'll be in hiding for a little bit, especially Eunice Emily Aguilar. She'll be in hiding for a little bit. Too many people won't want to see her outside.
But what goes on your record? If she doesn't get arrested, what goes on her record where I can stop her from where I can know that she has harmed a child? How can I see that?
The mandated reporters were supposed to report that, and CPS was supposed to be picking that up. And once CPS picks it up, they're supposed to put you on the Child Abuse Central Index. How do I know? Because when CPS accused me, I was on the Child Abuse Central Index, and I had to fight them to have myself removed because what they're saying I did not do. So there is a mechanism in place, although the system is very antiquated. They told me I could come to a hearing, and I said I'm be in tow with the assembly member, and I said I was bringing the news, and then they didn't want to meet with me anymore, and they dismissed it, right? But if they would have done what it was that they were supposed to do, that would have triggered that, and that they would have stayed on that Child Abuse Central Index until they got themselves off of it. But that's just a little bit of tidbit here and there. Melissa, accountability. What does that look like?
I'm echoing what everybody else said. They all need to be arrested, and there needs to be something on their record that prevents them from hurting other children. And prevents them from working with children again, because not only did you hurt a child or a bystander, which additionally supported the harm of that child, but you went against, you're sworn to the state. Like we've said, they're mandated reporters. What about the people in the back who did not report what happened, who just let it happen? I don't understand why that's okay, and why we're allowing that while we're just allowing them to be fired. That makes no sense. They went against their sworn statement to protect children while working with children at all times.
And they too, under the Child Welfare or the Welfare Institutions Code, they too can be charged with failure to protect for not reporting it. And so I think that, again, they weaponize this system against certain people, but the people who should be held accountable is crickets, right? And that's what really ticks me off about it. If the video wouldn't have come out, the truth would have been hidden, right? And so mom ends up, in my opinion, mom is the hero here. Because not only did the baby tell her what happened, mom believed the baby, and she's standing with and fighting for her child.
Right.
And too often we have parents who don't believe their children when they say, this is what happened on campus. This is, I went to this person, they told me to be quiet, like Patrice was saying. Or there's kids who talk about being bullied on campus and they tell them to stop being tattletales, right? And so at some point, we have to get to the point where bullying is being taken seriously. And I remember being at the school board. What happens when the bullies are your teachers? And nobody wants to answer that question for me. They think they know everything. And that's what keeps us busy around here, because I don't think they know all that.
And I think it'd be busy around here because we always be, you say what's accountability. And it seems like we're always fighting off somebody else's system that is trying to hide accountability.
Yeah.
So they're always putting in systems in play to hide the accountability. So everybody been talking about, okay, we can stop it all right now. We can put the cameras in the classrooms just like they did through COVID. We can end all this right now. Easy solution. But no, we can't do that because of this, and it's always for the teacher. And it's sad that I look at that and I see the teacher and you say, well, why is she going? Like Patrice said, they funnel them through other systems. I remember as a youth playing football and some of the dirty things we used to do as kids, as a youth. If the other team was better than us, we'll send my boy in there. Hey man, go for his legs, man. We got to get him out the game. And it seems like that's what they do with theirs as adults. They be like, good one for the game. You know what I mean? We're gonna make sure you don't make the news. We're gonna funnel you through. We're gonna get you the nursing job over there, and the system continues to continue. And when you go to address it and say, hey, we're looking for a solution, they'll say, oh, okay, go take this water. Or I went to a meeting and they said this is recent. They said they're going to start passing out to parents papers where they can fill out what's going on with their kid. After school, you can, instead of you calling, you can fill this paper out and you can let us know what's going on with your kid and we'll address it. So the person that told me that, they said this is the answer to parents being frustrated. So I said, what's the difference from that paper and all the parents that go to the school board meeting and have already told you what's going on with their child? You ain't listened to them when they was there to you face to face. What's the accountability with the paper? They said, well, see, if you want to come with a solution that'll help us, then and I was. But that's what it be. It's always funneling something through the system. And that's why people continue to say comments like this. The system working the way it's supposed to be working.
Yeah.
So why are mandatory reporters rarely held accountable when they fail to report? Why do you think? They're rarely held accountable when they do report and when they fail to report. But that's just my opinion. But why do you think that it's not seen as a big deal?
You can't even make a president tell the truth out here. They can't even make appointed judges tell the truth out here. They look us in the face and gaslight us and just use it. And I'm gonna continue to say everything else that everybody else say too. I mean, come on, man. Slavery was not that long ago, man. You ain't been hoodwinking us for that long. You know what I mean? So that's why it's hard to hold other people for accountability, because if you look at them, they're gonna turn around and point the finger at somebody else that's much higher up. Just like they just did with the Actively Black thing when we made the phone calls. Hey, man, what's going on? Oh, I didn't know I did anything wrong. Man, it just gave me a code. You know what you did.
Yeah.
Why do you think advocates are called only after harm becomes undeniable?
Any of us can answer that question.
After, I mean, there's nothing going on to as measures of prevention for this thing, right? And we spoke on the culture awareness that we are lacking, that educators are lacking. They're not coming in well equipped to address anything with the baby. So the advocacy is very much so needed. But I don't know. This is a hot topic right here. This is some real crazy crap going on with this baby. I don't like it. My mind just stuck on her hurling this shoe. That's where my mind is at. I just can't understand it. I don't understand it.
Patrice, why do you think advocacy is only called after the harm is undeniable?
It's just a defense strategy. It's you're only calling advocates because you got caught. You're not. Oh, I'm so frustrated with this because it's such a. Is the baby okay? Like, have we had an update on her? Is the mama okay? Do they need anything? Do they need us to show up or send? You know what I mean? Like, if the video wouldn't have came out, this child would not have been believed.
Correct.
So we are only here because the video came out, and if the video didn't come out, those workers would still be in that facility, being able to cause that child harm every day. And they call advocates out to help with the recourse from the fallout. That's all it's about. It's not about preventing this from ever happening again. Is to make it look like we are doing something because we got caught harming a Black child. And we always harm Black children. That's how the system was built, to harm Black children. And so I don't have the perfect answer for that, but I do know that this is happening all across this country in classrooms and facilities every day. This one instance is being brought to light because there is video footage of it. But even when children are not getting physically harmed, they're getting emotionally harmed, they're getting socially harmed, they're getting their spirits are being diminished every day in these schools. And until we demand accountability and even create our own system to educate our children that is not in these systems, we're going to be faced with having to step up and defend our children, being that parent and reversing the harm that is done to our children inside of these spaces.
Absolutely.
Melissa?
Something that Miss Patrice just said was just talking about like being that parent, right? And like how we have to have more of that parent. And you also talked about if that video wouldn't have come out, the child wouldn't have been believed. And then I'm thinking, okay, what if the mom believes the child? Then they become a family who is not being believed, and who that mom becomes that parent who is trying to get justice for her child. But because there's no video, then they're just together not being believed and have a stereotype assigned to them that they're disruptive and that they're trying to give everybody at the center a hard time, and that she's going out of her way to be annoying and disruptive and just being annoying to everybody. But there's so many scenarios like this where there isn't video footage, and the children have to continuously go through their lives feeling like nobody's going to believe them if they didn't catch it on camera. And not everything can be caught on camera because the majority of the time the cameras aren't on. And that's frustrating. And like there's so many layers to this, because this is also a little girl. And if you're throwing something at a little girl and you're being violent towards her, and then you go and you tell her that you didn't mean it, what kind of message and precedent does that set for her in the future?
Right.
Autistic.
Like, what kind of precedent does that set for her future friendships and relationships of any kind, that someone can be violent towards her and immediately apologize and then it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Or how
there's
does
so
she
many-
feel going back into a school setting?
Exactly. There's so
What
many
is her
layers
trust
to it
like?
that no one is talking about. There's so many layers of the trust that is being lost to people who are hierarchically over her in so many different spaces. Like you said, like going back even into a school, even if her mom removes her from this daycare, going to another school. Now she's traumatized
Correct.
and may
And that
act
trauma
out,
may-
as people
Yep.
say,
Yep.
towards another teacher. And now they don't understand why. And it's because somebody else didn't
Come
do what
on.
they were supposed to do and hurt her.
Straight
Like
up.
I don't
on it.
understand. And I don't understand why these people who clearly do not have the heart to work with children go and continuously work with children. I don't
Come
get it.
on.
Or if you're fired from one job, well, go and try to find another job working with children. What is the power trip? Like I don't get it. And there's too many layers to it.
Yes.
You know,
Speak
can I
on
say
it, though,
something about,
Melissa.
that parent that we was talking about last week? One of the questions we asked was, what do you think makes that parent? And when I look at it and you look at the mom and you look at somebody has done something to my child far more dirtier than any one of the kids around this neighborhood has done to her, and has hit her with something that I wouldn't even hit her with her, and I wasn't informed with it. And you would think, like, what creates that parent? And to be reasonable, and I go down to the school and I make the report and I go through, and there's so many parents that go through that. But in this case, this parent is the winner. Like you said, shout out to that parent. So many parents, they come and they won't review the tape. They won't. They don't want to hear it. My child said, no, we don't. And then they gaslight the parent out, and then another incident happens. So you say, what happens when they go to another school? Parent is already upset, and many a times when you said, why? When do the advocates come in? Oftentimes we come in after the third incident didn't happen. By the time I come in, it's like this happened, and oh
Right.
yeah, let me send you these other emails, and this happened, and now I'm at my wit's end,
Right.
and somebody else told me to call you.
Yep.
Right.
And I'll be like, wow, or I didn't
And
even know
we
you
get the
exist.
brunt of everything. By the time they get to us, they are so frustrated.
And the meeting is 3
Yes.
days away. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going IEP meeting
3
on
days.
Wednesday.
What you th- it'd
And
be
this
in
is
the
all
morning.
information. Yeah.
We don't get hardly any notice. We just have to stop and pivot because by the time it comes to us, they're either up for expulsion. Somebody has failed them so many times that they no longer trust the system. The parent is not cooperating anymore. The kid just feels like, no matter what I do, it's up.
Gonna be bad.
Right.
You know what? I know why it is. Because
Why?
when a parent comes in there, it turns into a us against you thing, and the parent sitting on one side of the table, and it's one parent, and this is what it looks like, just like this studio, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and sometimes 7 in the room against that one parent, but sometimes no less than 4 in that one room with that one parent in that meeting. And then so when one person says, oh, but I don't know why you have a problem with her. I just got here. No, it's all of y'all against it, man. Y'all got the paper. You see the paper just like I see it. And that also is so overwhelmingly frustrating for a parent when they feel like all of y'all against me. This whole district against me. And I just want to help my baby.
And I just feel like I'm the equalizer, right? You got an attitude, I'm going to have an attitude. You talk slick, I'm going to talk slick. And then we both going to be in here talking slick, but at the end of the day, I'm going to win. Because I'm gonna hit you with your policies. I'm gonna hit you with what you're supposed to be doing. I'm gonna return that energy. I'm gonna turn it back around to where the parent said A, B, C, and D. So what we gonna do about that? Like you telling me what makes you comfortable? I don't really care nothing about that. I want to know what we're gonna do to make sure the parent gets what they need to be successful in this moment. And they're not used to that. They're used to people coming in, cussing them out and whatnot. But I heard you ask about the baby, and I just want to share this other picture of her. Isn't she so cute? This is beautiful. And she is, my understanding, she has been taken out of that daycare. She has not gone back. Mom no longer trusts them to be able to provide for her daughter. But I just wanted to show this picture, not the screaming baby, but this is the baby. With her cute little self, and if they ever call me, they should know that I'm a pull up, because what we don't do, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna keep going with that. You have an announcement, sir?
Announcement to make before BBSN get up out of here. Down here at Black Youth Leadership Program, we got our food program up and running. This is come down, check us out at bylp.org. That is bylp.org. We got the free grocery program. Come on down here and get your vittles. You have to
get your what?
Vittles.
The vittles.
Vittles would be beans, rice, cheese, meat, sausage, pork sausage, bread, cheese, milk, eggs.
So we got
oatmeal.
some good stuff.
We got some good stuff for the community. Now, there's a trick to it though. We're gonna need it's fresh and healthy foods, but we do scheduled pickups. We need you to register because we're trying to keep the lines moving smooth and helping everybody else get through. If you know anybody that's down on their luck or anything like that, or maybe you might need some extra bread, come through, come get it and give it to your neighbor. Love y'all. Black Youth Leadership Project.
And we want to let you know that our legislative open house is coming up March 20th and 21st. We are going to be taking the babies over to the Capitol and teaching them how bills become laws and how they enact that, not just in their neighborhoods, in their communities as a whole. So if your young people have not signed up for that, please make sure you go and have them register. Melissa, we could use some volunteers from Berkeley. So let's talk about that
Absolutely.
later. Ms. Patrice, do you have any announcements for SES?
We're going to be having an open mic at the SES Center every first Monday of the month. And we also are gearing up for our SES Summit College Day at UC Davis on May 8th, 2026 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's all I have. And also, I just want to say, Black people, don't be mad at Bad Money for the Super Bowl. And
I don't know why people would be mad.
Like, well, please stop posting about that. Like, that's not okay. Like,
Who's
we
posting?
cannot. Listen,
People.
I've seen multiple
Really?
people, Black folks,
Really?
like commenting on the lack of English in the Super Bowl. Black folks, we got to be better. Like, please. Like, we cannot honor the oppressor's language as the end all be all way to communicate. Like, let's be better. Let's build bridges, not barriers, please.
Thank you.
Shout out to Bad Bunny, but I don't watch the Super Bowl and I don't watch the. I don't watch
it. I don't watch the NFL either.
But that's very disheartening to hear, especially since a lot of our people speak Spanish. But anyway,
come on,
right?
But anyway, I don't understand that. That's some weird stuff. I don't subscribe. But we're not gonna do that. Not here, not anywhere. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to. What's the name of my avatar? No, Spanish speaking one. I'm gonna release that. Yeah, I'm gonna release my Spanish speaking avatar.
Yeah,
Maribel is gonna make her debut real soon. Because we gotta each one teach one, and we gotta bring each other along. But we're gonna have to stop all that foolishness. We can't do that. Yeah. So with that, we're gonna hit y'all with the peace sign. I have no idea what we're talking about next week. Melissa, you know?
Next week, we are supposed to be talking about the emotional toll of fighting for your child. So very similar to today's episode.
Fantastic. Maybe we can find that mama and see if she's ready to talk next week. But yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Thank you for that, Melissa. You gonna take over next week so I could sit in?
I can take over next week if you need me.
Melissa will be back behind the hosting chair.
Oh, yes.
That's great.
Yes, she is
awesome.
Such a boss. Yes, Melissa.
So we'll see y'all next week. We're gonna hit y'all with the peace sign. Take care until next week. Peace.